Hello, Claude. Welcome. Nice to see you. How are you doing well today? I am indeed back. I think. I hope. Is everything okay with you? As far as I can tell, yeah. We finally got power back. Um, at like 7 p.m. yesterday. So our power was out for 9 days. I feel fine for the most part. A little tired slash sleepy. So I mean, the stream's gonna be shorter than normal. One, because I'm starting later, and two, because hope you didn't get affected by the second one. Nah, I don't even know if it happened yet. If it did, then we haven't caught anything from it. Heinz called me the other day and was talking about how she was preparing for the second one to hit. Yeah, because they're both supposed to hit Florida. I don't know why Pillow is trying to act like she is unfazed by hurricanes just because she lives in Florida. But what am I gonna do? Stop her? I can't control her. She does what she wants to do. It's clear that she's not worried, so I don't know. Well, I mean, that's good then. Oh, hold on. Uh, Give me a second. Uh, okay. I had to fix something. It's okay. Kina Deo. Hello everyone, it's Kitsunevtuber here. I'm finally back, performing for you, I suppose. Um, This was not fun. Like, I knew that something was supposed to happen, but I didn't know that it was going to be that catastrophic. おはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。SSKB です。今日の配信は雑談とペノドポンです。ただいま。But yeah, so here's the thing. First of all, I want to say I'm glad to be back. Not everything is completely like proper because I am using like mobile data right now as opposed to my normal internet. I don't know why the internet is still out, but I guess that's going to take a bit. So that's out still for everybody, I guess. But I am here and I'm able to do this until I guess the data runs out. But I'm not doing this for very long anyway. Probably gonna go until like my 5 a.m. But because the main thing was to tell the story, well, but usually I can't just sit on a screen without doing something as well until I can like get a lot of that stuff situated. So here's the thing. This is how everything started. I like to preface this with, I know it was the hurricane, but I like to preface this with calling it Wind Tree 24. So I'm gonna call this Devastation Wind Tree 24 because the main thing was trees were practically uprooted from the ground. So this is how it started. The power went out around 4 a.m. or so. Everything just went off. And oh shoot. Okay. And I mean the rain was pretty, how do I explain it? It was pretty violent for the most part. The wind forcefully making the rain hit the window. It was pretty loud. A lot of people said they couldn't really sleep. I was just waiting for the storm to like hit a lull. I was more afraid that it was going to like break my window or something, but luckily it didn't do that. So I was good on that. Alright. So I go to sleep. I wake up. Obviously the power's still out because, you know, it was a storm. I mean, usually whenever we get something like this, we usually just get rain. But no, it was way worse this go around. So we're not really used to catastrophic storms like this in terms of like the wind being so strong, or rather the trees being uprooted the way they were. So Friday comes along and we go outside and we see that, well, our yard is fine. So that's cool, you know. Though neighbors had a tree uprooted and it knocked over like some sort of like line. Apparently it wasn't a power line. I don't know what type of line this was, but a line was knocked out. Where I live, we only get floods and fires. We don't get fires. Sometimes we get floods. It's not very often. I can understand the fires though. So I noticed that I went to my phone and I noticed that at the top of it said SOS. So we couldn't really communicate with anyone. So this meant that I couldn't use my phone to call anyone. I couldn't text anyone, and I clearly couldn't use Discord because the internet was out as well. So the towers are down, comms are down. So I said to myself, okay, well, let me check on family. Family said they visited aunt and grandmother. So I was like, okay. So that's some close family. They're okay. So that's good. And then, so I was like, well, I know trees are all over the place. It's gonna be hard trying to move around. So I'm going to visit B12 because B12 is 5 minutes away from me. 5 minutes turned into like 20 or so because of what was going on with the roads and the power lines. So we were like slowly moving about. And so I end up going to B12's to see how things are going there. And she was like, I'm relieved to see you because that's the only mode of communication that we've had all day. And I was like, okay, cool. Of course, they had some trees like in the back of their yard that were uprooted as well. So this is why I call it Wind Tree 24, because the whole thing is that the trees got uprooted by the wind. Because of the rain, so there was so much rain that it softened the ground or the soil, and it made the trees uproot easily. I messed up. Hold on. So after Friday, or after like chatting with B12 and stuff, Jared stops by later that day, checks on us, tells us, you know, the devastation in other areas as well. And we're like, yeah, man, it's been pretty weird. It's something that doesn't happen very often and stuff like that. So Saturday comes along, and my parents are like, we're gonna go to a neighboring town and get a hotel. He's like, do you wanna come with us? And I was like, no at first. Because I was like, what's the sense of going to a hotel? Because I know we have family near the area. Hello, cousin. What can I see? How are you doing well today? The other year we had the biggest flood in the history of the area. Ah, I see. Okay. So, but yeah, I was like, but we have family in the area. Why would you book a hotel when you can stay at a family member's house? And so I was like, I'll go if I can go to the family member's house instead. And so I went to my family member's house. And the moment we crossed over from our town to the other town, we had signal. So that's when I was able to contact people on Discord and whatnot, figure out what was going on with like Pillow and everybody else. Of course, Pillow's like, oh no, it wasn't that bad. And I'm just like, okay, buddy. I'm glad everything's okay. You know. But we got hit pretty hard and stuff like that. And the irony is the neighboring town was supposed to be the area that was actually supposed to get hit, and it turns out that it actually turned to our area instead, which is why the preparation wasn't very high, and the preparation there was, but it didn't happen, you know. Need to not have versus have and not need. So we traveled that Saturday, and then Sunday, because it was at night, and then Sunday, my parents looked for a generator and other necessities just to get some power in the house to get the refrigerator and freezers situated, since you know that was actually our main concern, getting the freezer, the food that we already had, so that we wouldn't have to replace as much food. Because we had water, we had food, we just didn't have electricity or signal. So once we did that Sunday, funnily enough, a weird other thing happened where in the neighboring town there was this weird other issue that had occurred. It had nothing to do with the hurricane, but it was some other odd catastrophic spill or whatever. And it's wow, what a series of unfortunate events in close areas. But everyone was okay. So then what happened was, yeah, story time, yeah. So then after that, we managed to drive back Sunday night to our dark town, and my father and I hooked up a generator so that we can get that situated before going to sleep and stuff. And you know, first day was eh. Second day was like, eh. Third day was like, alright, who's gonna crack first, right? Because, you know, once you don't have something for a decent amount of time, you're like, how do I cope? This goes for electricity, like showering, washing clothes, all that type of stuff. And of course for me, streaming, signal, internet, all that type of stuff. Weirdly enough, I was the calmest, because there's no sense in everybody being aggravated when we all knew that this was something that we couldn't control. And so that was more aggravating than anything. Now... So all we were really doing at the time was biding time. At first it was okay, because like my dad was like, okay, well, since I have the generator, I can like grill some food in the beginning. Because it's not like we could use like electricity to heat things, so he grilled a little bit in the beginning. And it was good. It wasn't like a huge generator, it was just a gas generator to like a small one that you would have to like fill with gas every like 6 hours or so. It didn't take that much gas though, luckily. Otherwise it would be, you know, too bad. Oh, that was the thing too. So this was a very interesting thing because this meant that gasoline, or I guess petrol for quad, was being bought up a lot. Gas and generators alike. The sales were just, you know, being made. I would assume that there was like price gouging as well, all things considered, since it became like an emergency situation. But it was pretty crazy. So we got that stuff. People were, you know, saying, you know, we had to travel from here because, you know, power's out, this, that, and the other. And some people still had to go to work and stuff the next day. And luckily for me, I didn't, because, well, not lucky per se, because in my neighboring town, or in my town, is where my workplace is, and we don't have power. The whole place doesn't have power. I can't go to work anyway, right? So, but also lucky for me, we were technically quote-unquote rotated out anyway, so we weren't really losing anything in terms of like money or pay or whatever. Interestingly enough, my workplace was for the most part unscathed, so that's pretty cool. Of course, riding down the roads and stuff, we did see some devastated houses, some devastated cars. It was not a fun sight to see. Trees lying about. Just seeing all the trees uprooted from the ground was a very scary situation. Because like I said, it's not something that happens very often. So that was that. And like I said, nothing else was really going on. So all we were really doing was waiting for power to come on. So little by little, I guess people around us, their power was getting fixed little by little. Otherwise we stayed in contact with family and whatnot after like the first 2 days, since they finally got phone signal up. And I am glad you're alright. I am too. Thank you guys, and I really appreciate that. Because like I said, we were very fortunate. We got pretty lucky. But then we got stir crazy as well. Because there's no fallback to no internet these days. You can't really live without internet now, because television requires internet, computers and whatnot, phone, even though you can't use cell towers, everything uses it, period. And even with other businesses, you need it. So, and there was no fallback, especially when we had no tower communication or phone communication. It was pretty bad. So I'm milling about in the dark when the sun goes down, basically. Otherwise, I'm like sitting outside on the porch, just rocking in a rocking chair, and using my phone, doing a little Duolingo, because what else could I do, right? So that was really it. We were just playing the waiting game the whole time. Just like in the military, hurry up and wait. And, you know, Monday goes by, Tuesday goes by, Wednesday goes by, all the way up until, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. And we still don't have power, right? And so the next week starts up. Monday goes by, Tuesday goes by, and then we get power at like 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And boy, were my folks elated, and I was pretty happy too, because now I'm able to tell you the story, right? There was an outage of internet for 15 days. It was really bad. Oh, I see. Yeah, because technically at the moment, apparently internet is out in this area, and I'm using my phone hotspot for it to stream to you right now. But yeah, Wintry 24 was a devastating time. And hopefully Milton doesn't arrive here. I don't think it will. I don't think so, no. If it hasn't already. But you know, never say never. Because, you know, this happened. And we weren't expecting it, so who knows, right? But on the upside, I do have some interesting news. Some better news, I guess. In the time that I was able to use my phone for, like, internet and stuff, I did manage to order a few things. So, by the end of the week, I will have a different microphone. I looked into the specs and stuff and what I could use it for, and hopefully it'll be better than what I have. I've had this microphone for a while. There's nothing really wrong with it per se, but considering that I have a Go XLR and haven't been able to use it yet because the microphone I'm using right now is a USB one, I will just be using the one that I get to plug into that. Plus I need more USB space anyway. So that should free up that, and maybe the quality will be better as well. I sure hope so. It should be, because I looked at the specs of it. Shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully I'll sound a bit clearer as well, and it'll be more noise canceling as well. That's what I really want. Because my computer fan is loud for no real reason. And plus I just make a lot of noise otherwise. And that's the thing about this microphone too, it does that. Because it's a very spatial mic. But it's a really good one, like I said. But I just needed to get another one, especially to utilize the Go XLR that I've never used before. I mean, I did spend money on it, so I might as well use it. And then in other news, I do have some other interesting things that are going to occur. Maybe by the end of the... Well, definitely by the end of the year. As I've said before, or as you've seen already, as you see on screen right now, I have two models. I have my Fox one and my human one in PNG form. I have something in the works pretty soon. That'll make me more animated. And all I can do is hope that I can perform well for you guys. I'm very excited because I like what I see. I'm very happy with the person that I've commissioned. They're really great, really sweet. So stay tuned for that. What else? As far as the other than that, I mean, that's the main thing. The devastation occurred. We toughed it out for the most part, and it was miserable until it wasn't for me, personally. And then now we're here. I'm glad to know you're alright. Only when a natural disaster happens and you lose power, only then you realize how reliant we are on electricity. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, I already knew. For me, I even said to my folks, I said, all I need is 2 bars on my phone and I'm good. And, since we had no like actual like phone connection for the first 2 or 3 days, it was very scary for me because I needed. Not only did I need to let people know that things are happening, but I also had some things in the works commission-wise that I needed to communicate, be able to communicate with my commissioner and whatnot. Uh, Once I was able to communicate with them, everything was okay. Obviously, you can't plan these things, so don't worry. Your personality alone is good. Oh, I appreciate that, cousin. 100%. I was hoping so, because, you know, I always say that I don't feel like I'm very interesting, but I've come to realize that if that were the case, then I wouldn't have dedicated returning viewers, despite the small number. And I have to remember that looking at the number is a dumb way to do it. I know it's like, it's very easy to look at someone else and go, well, they're being successful, why am I not being successful? What are they doing that I'm not? And stuff like that. But in all reality, better things come to you when you don't worry about stuff like that, because the more you want something, the least likely you'll get it, because you'll be focusing on the wrong thing, right? If you're trying to be cool, the more you're trying to be cool, the less cool you actually end up being. So you just have to let things come by naturally, and then everything will be okay. And that's what I had to learn. That was something, I had wrote something down, I had written something down on my phone on the first day of the devastation, or second day of the devastation. And I learned that on the way, or not, yeah, on the way when I was visiting like with my uncle and my grandmother, I learned that this is the most adulting I had ever seen in a small span of time, because there's a lot of communication happening. Yeah, it does, Kaizen, you're right. I've learned and noticed that as well. Uh, but with my uncle and grandmother, um, I noticed that I had never seen so much like money spending in such a short amount of time ever. And I was like, this is what adulting actually feels like, you know? And I thought to myself, how do I explain this? I don't see how people could really afford anything when we did as much spending as we did within those like 2 days. It was insane. It was actually insane. And I'm like, not too many people have this much money like actually saved up and can just do this. So it's very crazy how we were able to do this. So we are very fortunate and lucky. Not to say that they didn't work for it, but you know, a lot of people don't save up their money to a high amount. Granted, obviously, like my parents and uncles and grandparents and whatnot are older, so that means that they have money saved up anyway, plus retirement, right? But apparently I've been commended for my money saving, because apparently a lot of people either my age or whatnot wouldn't have as much in the bank as I do. Not saying that I have much, but I have more than most, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be saying, hey, donate to Access or whatever, because, you know, otherwise I'd just be sad, you know? But no. It's definitely an interesting time that occurred, and that was a lot of money. But one thing I was gonna say also is that what I've learned is that a little bit of patience goes a very long way, because especially during like a devastation, because everyone's going to be in a panic or miserable, and you have to be able to keep things calm and think about things rationally. So I learned. Let me find my phone. I wrote something down. Let me see. So I wrote down. Where is it? My phone's on fire because it's being used as a hotspot. Okay, so I wrote down the most important part of adulting is not doing a bunch of laboring tasks, but having complete patience with those around you. Uh, and even if it feels exhausting, the smiles that you receive are well worth it in the end. Uh, and I said the three G's of relief: gasoline, grocery stores, and generators, because that's what basically what was like talked about at that time, like getting gasoline, uh, finding generators, and obviously getting groceries. Um, and I said to myself, I don't want to hear the word generator ever again after as many times that I did within the span of 2 or 3 days. Generator, generator. It was mental. And yes, my frames are going down. Hopefully it'll come back. I hope so. I don't know if it will though, but you will at least hear me, even if you don't see this very well. So yeah, patience goes a long way. I've learned that because usually when you get older, you actually lose patience. But the thing about being an adult as well is actually having that. Because they say that once an adult, twice a child, meaning that, you know, as you get older, you end up becoming a bratty child later as well. When you don't get what you want or when you become miserable. Oh wow, my KBPS is getting worse actually. Generator, yeah, generator, ugh. But yeah, it was wild. And that's to say that it could easily happen again. Just because something had never happened before doesn't mean it won't happen again once it does happen, right? Never count it out. So, it was scary. It was definitely scary. It was definitely an experience. I think the worst part of it is relying on others because you don't know when something will get fixed, right? So it's one thing if it's something that you can slightly control, but when you have no idea, then you're kind of stuck, you know? That's a shame. Okay. Yeah, okay. Nope, it's not going up for some reason. Hold on. And I can't really do anything about it. Okay. It's going up a little bit. Okay. I'm doing math and listening. You all doing math? Fair enough. Maybe if I put it right here. Can you teach me to draw? Hello, Council. Welcome to see you. Hope you're doing well today. I need to do more drawing streams anyway, but I'm not a great artist. Oh, it's getting worse. What the heck? Especially not a digital artist. I used to draw on paper a lot. Speaking of, it's October, which means Inktober, right? Which means traditional to me. I think most people still end up drawing on tablet though. Just in an ink style, you know, to get around it, because, you know, people have to have their layers. But, in the time that I didn't have any power, I did attempt some sketches. Hence, counsel why you see what you see in Pillow's, like, fan art spot. That was something I did while the power was out. I drew Pillow. So, that's the thing. But I don't know if I could teach you to draw because, like I said, I'm not really the artist to go to. But I do want to get better, actually. I feel like the more I do it, the more I'll enjoy it. And if I can get back into it, it'll be great for me. I encourage people to want to draw and continue to draw, and don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't draw just because it's not a very stable job. I don't know, in 2024 it can be. With everyone becoming digital, you know, I've said before, the artists who make the most money are actually furry artists. And if you're a furry artist who learns how to make VTuber models, you're kind of set. Because this isn't going away anytime soon. Sure, the boom is gone. Because, you know, the big C was insane, mostly like in the beginning of 2020 or 2021 or whatnot. But VTubing stuff is far from over. It's become like the new medium, kind of like Vocaloid and stuff when it first became a thing. So we are here. Oof. Oh. I messed up. Okay, anyway. Oof. But, yeah. I want to draw some cool armor. Now, armor is interesting. Because I feel like armor is really difficult to draw. Armor, cars, planes. But I also feel like that's something that you could learn as you do it little by little. So yeah, sure. Look at as much as you can, like reference-wise. Don't be afraid to use references. Don't fall for the trap of, I don't want to use a reference because it feels like cheating. It's there for you to, it's there to help you. As long as you're not like copying someone's work and claiming it as your own, you're good. Because that's like saying, if I make a poem and if I use this word, I feel like I'm copying someone else. Or what have you. You're going to be inspired by someone else. It's going to happen. As long as you don't copy something verbatim, you should be okay. So just keep that in mind. I had to learn when I was younger that sometimes it's okay to just have a style of your own. I know that people desire a certain style, but sometimes you can tell someone's style just based on certain features or intricacies. And that's what makes, you know, that style stand out or whatever. Kind of like when everyone was like picking on the JoJo style and now everyone loves it. Be careful who you pick on in middle school. And whatnot. Oh. Yep. Oh, okay. Come on. Come on. Manga, manga. Okay, I'll take that. This fight is pretty difficult, huh? Oh, there's the rubber banding. Raining hard. Oh, I hope you're not getting, devastated. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited for what shall be coming up once it's done. And I hope you will be too, even though I'm being as vague as possible. But, I'm getting upgrades for stuff so that I don't sound like someone who just started streaming like a year ago. I've been doing this for a little too long to not be reaching out as much as I should be. Once again, there I go thinking about and looking at numbers again, but I do want to still reach out as much as possible, while still doing what I'm doing. I was hoping I would be able to do this more last week because I knew that I would be off of work, but considering the devastation that occurred and how long it took for our power to come back on, it seems that I technically wasted that time off. Because, in all honesty, I could have just gone to friends' houses, which I did visit one friend locally, like one Sunday. But other than that, I stayed home for the most part. In my mind, I felt like, well, if my parents are suffering through this, why should I leave? Right? I'm weird. I don't know why that's my thought, but I'm just weird, I guess. Also, I just basically learned that if the signal goes down, that means that it's a YouTube thing because it's not the Wi-Fi because I'm using my phone, which is closer than my actual Wi-Fi box. So that means YouTube went down a little bit while I'm getting hurt again. Darn it. Need to stream on Twitch. Oh yeah, I did. Well, I do need to do that. I forgot to actually activate that today. I didn't even think about it. I'm not gonna do it now though, because I knew this is going to be a short stream. Today, specifically. In fact, normally I don't stream this day. Normally I'd be streaming tomorrow, but since I, got power back, I said that as soon as I got it back, I was going to tell the story. It was definitely not a fun time. But should I really have been complaining when others have suffered way worse? And I know you shouldn't compare, like, traumas and suffering, since it's personalized. It kind of makes you feel like, privileged, I guess. But I don't know. It's kind of one of the reasons why I felt somewhat calm-ish, because hearing someone say, I'm ready for the power to come back on after the 4th time, you just kind of get away from it. Because it's not going to make it go on any faster. So like I said, what I would do was at like certain times of the night, like 9 or 10 p.m., I would just go out to the patio and rock in the chair and watch the stars. It was really nice because it's harder to see stars when you have street lights on. And since it was like pitch black outside for the most part, it was very easy to see the stars, and it was very nice. You could say that was the time to touch grass, but in all honesty, I was just watching space. But I guess it's a time to like make you think about stuff because we really do get wrapped up in the stuff that we're used to, and then when things change a little bit, it's hard for us to adapt. I just think we should think more about times like that because it will happen. And the best thing is how you adapt to it. You're not always going to have the answer, especially not from the start, for what needs to be done. But find a decent coping mechanism that will keep you from spiraling into depression and whatnot. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. I should have moved the other stars to the right. So speaking of Twitch, well, I can't tell if my internet connection's down or not. I have full bars for the most part, but I really can't tell if it's actually doing right. But speaking of Twitch, I do have some very nice friends who do want to help me, like, set things up with it and stuff. I just gotta get out of my shy bubble, or find the time to just do it. Obviously, like I said, I don't really have much time to do anything. Or I've had the time to do it, I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because I had no power. This is a thing too that I need to work on. Like, I can tell the story, but then I run out of things to talk about, I guess. Even though I can talk about just about anything. I can give my opinions on things. Oh, block. I can talk about how easy it is for someone to jump on a negative bandwagon as opposed to a positive one. I can talk about how people don't want to watch something that's really cool on television because I think a lot of people actually enjoy rage bait stuff as opposed to like finding out about new discoveries about stuff. Also, hello, Lovebug. Welcome to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Talk about hentai and which is best genre. Well, I can't really do that because I don't dabble in that. Not saying I've never seen R34 before, but My thing with me is that I don't really seek out that sort of stuff. But I will say that as someone who used to draw a lot, I definitely found a lot of references. Um, and believe me or not, um, I tend to view art objectively first before subject matter, which is a very slippery slope. Because sometimes it's not what you draw, but how you draw it as well. Um, I do like art though. Not gonna say I don't. Is Lolicon art considered immoral? It's considered. It's considered odd in the sense of you have to understand what lolicon means, right? Lolicon and shotacon means you have a complex for little girls or little boys, meaning that uh, you are a PDF. And I know that people like to say, well, it's different because it's not real. Because obviously, what you put down on paper is going to be something fantasy, something you can make up. But I can understand that you like the art style because people say that, there's something very adorable about seeing a baby's face and how cute it is and whatnot, cute and round and like big eyes and stuff, right? But in this case, I never really understood the debate over that because a lot of times people will say, well, none of this should matter because it's not real. I wouldn't have these tendencies in real life. And it's like, how do you know that that wouldn't be the case? You really can't just chalk everything up to, well, it's anime, it's fantasy. If this happened in real life, I wouldn't do it. So, in terms of like immorality, I would say that if you thought of it like you would in real life, that's where your morality would come from. Because if you say that it doesn't matter when it comes to anime and stuff, then there is no like morality or immorality. It doesn't matter because then you're trying to use something that we perceive as real and try to put it into something that is fantasy. That's my take on that. I keep bumping into that cord and I apologize because that cord makes noise. It's probably a soft noise though. You probably don't hear it too much. I gotta stop swiveling in my chair because it bumps that cord. Um, but that means that you're giving someone a pass. You know what I mean? You're giving someone a pass to be like, well, I can live out my fantasies as a lolicon shotacon. Clearly, it would be immoral in real life, but I can do it here where I quote unquote won't be judged, even though you technically will be judged. Um, but it's still weird. Um, that's like an argument when it comes to furries. Um, a lot of people see furries in a negative light, even though they're just trying to like live their life a different way without hurting anyone. But here's the funny thing about that. Um, no matter what level of furry you think you may be, or how many that you meet, everybody's gangsta till they meet a Therian. And it's funny because they're like, oh man, Therians are weird. So like that's the usual consensus because apparently Therian I prefers deserves going though. I've never heard of that, so I don't know. That seems odd to me. Very stinky indeed. Uh so it's just weird that people try to purge different people just because of just because the opinions are different and stuff like that. Like I said, I feel like if you're not really hurting anybody, you really shouldn't try to purge people. If those people are actively trying to go out and hurt people, then yeah, I kind of get it. Granted, I'm a pacifist, but I just don't like the idea of I don't agree with you, therefore we are enemies forever. Or I don't agree with you, therefore your whole kind is a nuisance. Their diapers in real life. Well, I mean, yeah, I would assume that. Because diapers are, aren't just for kids. And yes, I know that is a fetish, right? Much like many things. Much like lolicon, shotokan, right? Once again, I wouldn't do it in real life. Because that would be wrong. It was just like that debate on TRAPs and how you shouldn't call anyone that in real life, even though people totally would, because the concept and fact of the matter is it would still comply to how some people are in real life. Not like trying to catfish or anything like that, but like in the sense of in the sense of just wanting to feel pretty. I don't know. Sometimes people just want to feel pretty. But I noticed that people change their minds really quickly when the people they find to be attractive aren't what they think they are. And then you have to think yourself and go, well, why did I find this person to be attractive? Why did I find this person to be hot, right? And then you're like, oh, well, they aren't what I thought they were. Does that now make them less hot? And I think that's something that people... I personally think that's a big problem. Just like the whole English or Spanish thing. Like the whole holding your breath underwater for a long period of time just to prove that you aren't gay. Even though being gay is not a negative thing. You are attracted to what you are attracted to within your code. There are such things as awakenings, but you are still attracted to what you are attracted to, no matter what anyone tells you. As an adult, you can make decisions on what you would be into, and people shouldn't make that decision for you. And if they excommunicate you for it, then that's their problem and not yours. And that's easier said than done. I understand. If you're not actually in that situation, it's kind of easy to just write that off and say that, distance yourself. But in reality, though, you really should try to associate yourself with more positive people, or people who think, what's the word I'm looking for? People who are open-minded. You really need that in this day and age. Oh, that's something I want to talk about too. I need to know something from chat. I need to know before I look this up, because I'm tired of looking up things only for it to be like negative connotations, or like people mudslinging at people without just giving the facts or whatever, without being mean towards each other. I need to know what woke means and what woke culture means, and I need to know why it's seen as negative and who made it negative, because I don't understand what that means. Because when I hear woke culture, my first thought is adaptive. Not offensive, but adaptive. or getting away from traditional, which doesn't mean that it should be negative. I want people to inform me of this because it's aggravating to learn about, and I'm tired of hearing things like anti-woke or it was too woke. I'm just like, what does that mean? Oh, I could tell you what it means. Oh, hello, Ricky. Welcome to see you. Hope you're doing well today. I forgot you go to work around this time. Hope you slept well. Ohio, senpai. Ohio, Joseph. Genki desu ka? Yeah, I would like to know. Absolutely, because there's too much negative in the world, and I would like for it to be less negative in the world, because I'm pretty chill and cozy for the most part. Cyanide, yet there's no anti-fool. That's true, Cyanide. What can I see you up doing well today? I don't know, it's just odd to me. No one actually can define it. It's a catch-all and a means for people to say thing is too inclusive. Ah, I see. I've been watching a lot of things lately. Just randomly. And I form my own opinions based on the person watching the reaction video and the people in the reaction video as well. And form my opinions on things. And yes, a lot of it ends up like being about how people see this gender and how these people see this gender and how if the roles were swapped, they'd get canceled immediately and stuff like that. And then I thought about it and I was like, huh, it seems like even as VTubers, even though you're supposed to be like one of the things of like being a VTuber in terms of an outlet is so that you can escape some of the real world stuff, some of the real world baggage stuff, where you shouldn't be judged like in the same way because it shouldn't be the same world. It's literally like an isekai sort of situation, kind of, sort of. I know we're people behind the screens and stuff, immersion, blah blah, and all that, but you know we aren't Vocaloids. But like, a lot of people will still do this thing where, you know, such and such did this. Oh, they're so redacted, right? And then it's like, why are you judging them based off of that? They're just playing a game. And it's like, it's the way they said it though. They're so redacted. And I'm just like, yeah, okay? That's weird to think about, but okay, if you say so, you know. Sorry, this will get a little political, but that's why you see a lot of people on the far right will say a piece of media is what because it's someone who's gay, trans, women, black, Asian, etc. Right. And that's the thing too. I've heard so much stuff about leftists, rightists, and all that type of stuff. And I've heard so much negativity about stuff. I think I hear more negativity about right wings than lefts, even though I don't know what either means. And yes, I know people say conservative versus non-conservative, this and that, liberal, whatever. Even with those words, I still don't completely understand how it defines people. All it really means to me is that there's negativity from both sides, and it's like if you're not with me, you're against me type of situation. Kind of like with Republicans and Democrats when it comes to the U.S., I guess. Just reading the Kanji dictionary. Fair enough. Pushing a narrative to put minorities and LGBT ideologies front and center in media. Don't race swap characters or female focused projects where they weren't in the first place. Pretty much there's no nuance. I see. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. You're trying to push the agenda basically to make it more normal as well. Or it's like, you know, that sort of situation. I guess it's kind of like two things really. There was like a Star Wars thing um that happened. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but like a video I saw was about how there was a show that wasn't good that Disney did. It was Star Wars related. I don't remember what it was called. I think it starts with an A. But it was bad, and then like the consensus was it was bad, or it was mostly bad. And a lot of people were saying that, oh, they used all sorts of buzzwords like, bigot and racist and this and that, and that's why it got canceled. When mostly in reality, I think the real reason why it got canceled was it was either not good or it wasn't making Disney money. And I think that happens with a lot of stuff. It's very easy to try to push an agenda and say, well, you don't agree with me because, or, this is happening. We're getting into an argument because of how different we look or something. I'm like, I think people should take a step back and just realize that people are people. Because how would you go about that if you are of the same thing? If you are redacted, but you're similar, right? Then you can't blame it on that. It would just simply be you don't agree with stuff. Crimes of the same type happen towards each other. That's why I feel like people should step away from that and just think of things, or think of, go how it is, basically. You should be able to have a conversation with someone else that doesn't necessarily look like you without it being, oh, well, we don't agree because our cultures are different, or we don't agree because we look different, or we're not the same gender or something. I feel like we can get along just fine. And I think VTubing kind of helps, though, in a way, until it becomes like same real world stuff, just VTubers instead. That's why I think, being wholesome goes a long way too. Wholesome with a tinge of unhinged, But I don't find a problem with talking about this stuff. But I have noticed watching videos and seeing people in chats how like aggressively disagreeing people can be, and it causes problems. Let me read these comments. I would argue there isn't any agenda pushing, but just having inclusion can be seen as well. Oh, it was bad because the black dude was being romantic with an Asian woman. Oh, that is what we're talking about. I forgot what that's called. It starts with an A though, yeah. And people made a big fuss to the point the lady stepped down and that storyline was dropped. Isn't that kind of the story of Pocahontas though? As well? Because there were different types of races as well, and obviously it was seen as wrong back then and this and that. The video game and film industry are the only industry that openly mocks and criticizes its consumer base, and wonder why no one wants their female lead project. Oh yeah, that's true, or at least from what I've seen. Like people are calling Baldur's Gate 3 as a whole is woke because you can have a gay romance. Really? I thought there were other games that would technically allow for that as well though. It's funny in a weird way because I grew up not knowing what any of this stuff was. I grew up when they finally made the split between gender and sex, where people didn't see it as the same thing anymore. I grew up in a time when they finally, where they and them wasn't like seen as undefined gender or just inclusive, whatever, instead of being like multiple people. Like that was stuff that I had to learn when I was growing up. But the thing about it is I learned it, right? I didn't complain and go, oh, well, this wasn't how it was when I was growing up. That's not the point. The point is that things change and you should move on. Because it's, some things are outdated. Things become outdated, You just gotta move forward sometimes. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything that happens. Because I do remember when more people were coming out as trans, and this was at a time when I was in the military, and there were some people who didn't really agree with it, because I would assume also because they didn't understand it, but there was also a thing that was going on where like one guy had to ruin it for everyone, where a guy had snuck into a girl's bathroom to, you know, peek at them, and then he would claim to be trans to get away with it. And people can ruin stuff for that. By doing stuff like that. That's where you start getting trust issues and stuff. But that doesn't mean everyone will do that, right? It's about right, yeah. Now, the only thing that a lot of, and this is something I need to learn that I don't really agree with because I haven't learned about, which is why I still do some of these reactive videos on some of these videos. I need to learn what Zimzer is, because Zimzer is like a Therian situation for me where no one understands it and people kind of step away from it because they think it's kind of odd, very like social pariah-ish. Like I said, I can't necessarily say that I agree with it per se because I don't know much about it. I just know that it is a thing. I know that it's a huge thing in like furry communities as well, though. But like I never knew what that was. But that's also because it was never explained to me. It's one thing if someone explains something to me, then I'm like, ah, I get it, naruhodo, understandable. But when it's something so vague that no one can define it, and then people just get angry about it, it's very aggravating. So I like to learn why something is something. Why is this racist? Why was this considered racist or derogatory? Okay, thank you for telling me. I know what not to say. Thank you for telling me the history. Because some people will just... The reason why people will continue to say a thing is because they weren't told why it was bad. Or they weren't told, you know, they were just told don't say it. And kids aren't gonna just listen to that. Look at that combo though. People aren't just gonna listen to that. Or kids aren't gonna just listen to that. Kids want to know the reason why something is something. And I know a lot of adults will say because I said so. Because they didn't necessarily have the answer, or they felt like, you know, you are the child and I am the parent. You will do as I say regardless. You don't question me. Even though the whole thing with kids is that they question things because they question things they don't know. They're still learning. Where else are they gonna learn it from? Would you rather learn it from your parents? Or, you know, a close adult? Or would you rather just give your child an iPad and let them learn from there? Best cereal? Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate flavor. It used to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me, but now that's become too much sugar for me. Which I never thought that would be the case because I love sugar. Give iPad. I mean... Listen, I commend you if you can learn a lot from an iPad. But... apparently it's become a huge problem because people use it as a means of having it teach the kids instead of the parents. I always remember to take things with a grain of salt because just because a few people do a thing doesn't mean that everyone does it. But if it's become like a majority thing, that's probably the reason why people talk about it. I feel you don't need to know. I don't know what it is, but I have no reason to learn. I'm not in that community, so I have no reason to learn. Right, exactly. Yeah, I get it. It's just that a lot of people question it. And since I've been seeing it, well, not slightly a bit more, but since it has come up at least 2 or 3 times in the span of like maybe a week or two for me, I'll probably just dig into what that is. And I'll just be like, okay, and then that's it. Because I'm probably not going to see it much anyway. Like, I'm all about respecting people. As long as you're not like aggressive about stuff, I'm fine with it. Because, you know, we're all just trying to live. We just want to be able to get along with people and get stuff done. That's just how it is. Life's too short to be worrying about every little thing. So why not try to be happy about something? But I love learning, like I said. So, I mean, you know. I don't like to make enemies. But you shouldn't make an enemy just because you didn't know a thing. I'd just rather you teach me instead of being like, well, you're a bad person because you should know better. It's like, I don't know what's going on. You know? So, teach me instead. And if you can't teach me, then I think you just wanted to get angry at me because you wanted to get angry at somebody. Which is a common thing, believe it or not. Type it, Google it, and add urban to it. Oh, wow. Well, I already know what it would be if I added urban to it. Long story short, if you are not hurting yourself or others, who cares? Right, exactly. I agree with that. I actually 100% agree with that. Also, what you do behind closed doors is you know, your own thing. It shouldn't hurt other people. I know that there's a such thing as pushing an agenda on others, though. That's obviously a thing. Like I said, if you want to teach somebody a thing, that's fine. But they're not going to agree with you just because you've informed them. You know? It's kind of like with religion. People have different religions. You can't really push it on others. You grew up with it, sure. And they grew up with theirs. Does that mean that you will butt heads all the time? Not necessarily. If you're pushing something on others, I say that's hurting someone. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's like, I feel uncomfortable about this. It's like, okay, my bad, you know? Live and let live, yeah. Live and let live. But yeah, I don't like it when people, like, target types of people. And once again, it doesn't necessarily have to be about race or gender or anything like that. It's just, well, at least I'm not like a bigot or something. And I'm just like, anyone can be a bigot. I mean, you know, anyone can get angry about a thing and want to cancel you on Twitter or something. You know? It's not hard to just be like, this person said this thing and they don't agree. This means that they hate these types of people. You should cancel them and run their life or something. And it's very easy to do that. I shouldn't say you should fear for your life or anything. I still say you should stand your ground, but you know, diffuse the situation because otherwise people will just walk all over you and cancel you in any way that they possibly can just because they were angry for a day. You know, get them into that situation where it's like they become Schrodinger's cat or something, or it's like just a prank, bro. I'm sorry because I got caught, right? That sort of situation. Spider-Man Miles Morales is woke because there's a pride flag in it. Oh, really? I figured it was woke because Miles Morales is mixed race or something. I don't know. Because like I said, anything that isn't quote-unquote traditional ends up becoming woke culture or something. But that's fair enough, yeah. I don't think seeing gay or like homosexual or whatever, anything like that in a thing means that that's the main point of the thing. I mean, it just means that it exists. I don't think that's, I don't want my children learning about this. It's like, well, technically tough toenails though, because they're going to find out. And would you rather they find out while you're around, or would you just wait until something happens later? Because a lot of people feel like they should have complete control over their children, when in reality, it's not always going to be the case. And it doesn't have to be negative, like I said, but it may not agree with like the parents' morals and teachings and stuff. It might make the children closeted and stuff like that or whatever. 99% is just acknowledging they exist. Yeah, fair. I don't see anything wrong with that. there's so many distractions in life that turn into some sort of war, into war. And I just don't think that it should be a real focus. I think if people focus more on just trying to become successful at what they're like aiming for, goal-wise, like their jobs and careers and stuff, I think things would just be better. I think we could, in fact, if anything, I think we would be more likely to help each other a lot more if that were the case, regardless of what we look like and how we are. I just think that people will be way more willing to help people out in any way that they can. Well, but yeah, guys, you will never really hear me targeting like types of people unless it has anything to do with these types of people are literally going after people to make their lives miserable. But I'm not ever going to like do that sort of thing. If you want, I can send you something regarding board games. Perspective of a trans MB person, so there's bias. Okay, sure. I'll take a look at that. I'm all about being well informed about a thing. You might as well send me something Chuck Tingle related to. Because I know you have plenty. But I didn't say that out loud. Let's see. What else would I... Oh, funnily enough, I was talking to my... When I got home today from work, I was talking with my parents about... how's the best way that I could say this without it sounding odd? How do you determine that something is either just offensive or if it's actually like derogatory / a slur? Because if you put enough like stink on something, it can become like hate speech and stuff, you know? And I feel like anything can become problematic at that point in time. Well, that was an unintended. I guess I've become controversial suddenly. Not in a... I'm not trying to be like in a bad way. This is just things that come to my mind. But nothing like in the sense of, you know, I'm trying to hurt anyone. I can promise you that. That's not what I'm here for. You guys should know that. These are just things that come up because things come up. So I become curious. But every time you look up something like that, someone is like, well, these people on the left versus people on the right, and they're not gonna listen to anything. And it's like, alright, I'm already turned off. I'm not gonna entertain that because you're now pocket sanding in a sandbox. You know? Give me a debate where there is no mudslinging and I will respect you forever. Why is it so fast when it's only 2 minutes? Interesting. Oh, that's a shame. I cannot get this low enough to where I can clear it. No, I went the wrong direction. Okay, it's something. That's not enough though. Yeah, okay. I only have one book. If anyone who claims something is books, people who are bigots, who are mad, there exist people who are not them. Right, yeah, it's weird. I gotta go to work, have fun rest of your stream, and we'll come back. Thank you, Ricky. Please be safe at work. Get as much done as possible without overdoing it. Oh, I didn't mean to pick lip. But in terms of like favorite things that I have, green is my favorite color. 6 is my favorite Japanese number. Purple is my second favorite color, or violet. It always changes in between the two. Mario 3 is my favorite Mario game. My favorite... Yeah, my favorite anime. My favorite anime is Lucky Star, but it's an old anime. I like Slice of Life. So it's old. I love playing puzzle games because they're fun to figure out. What else? I can't say I have a favorite movie because I don't watch movies very often. My favorite Pokemon, I guess, is the Dende. I don't know if I have a favorite type though. That used to change every so often. I used to like Steel type for a long period of time. Of course, everyone used to like Dragon and Fire. I think Water was my least liked type though, just because of how saturated it became. What else? I don't know, actually. I've only owned one PlayStation type. It was the PlayStation 2. I've only owned one Xbox type, and it was Xbox 360. The only handhelds that I don't own are original Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, and the 2DS. And I have I bought like 3 Wii U's at one point in time. I've had at least 3 Wii's, but I didn't buy all of them. Some were one was like my parents or something. Yeah. Oh. Yep. Well, it is 5 o'clock, but I kind of wanted to beat Thanatos before leaving. I'll try it one more time and then I'll take my leave. But yeah, all in all, the storm was devastating. It was very scary. We're slowly recovering, as a town. And I'm back, and there will be some interesting improvements in the future. In the near future. So just stay tuned for that. And I wish to be more active. So here I am. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Now I have no space. I have no room. Oh man. I was so close on that one though. Well, not really. Obviously. One more time. Last one. The last one has begun. One more slash. You know. Oh. That's always fun to see. Oh, I did that wrong. There we go. We did it. Probably the funniest place in the game. It's a really good song. It just doesn't ever ramp up. Sadly. Drums are really good though. Oh Fox, hello Kidambi, welcome. Nice to see you, hope you're doing well today. I will beat Cordelia and then I will end stream. I hope you're doing well though. I explained my story at the beginning of the stream, so it'll be at the beginning of the VOD once it ends. You alright? Good, good, good. It's always good to hear. Well, man, I wish I could play Nintendo Puzzle Collection with 3 other people. There's not a single soul that I know of that would be even remotely interested. And I do not think, I mean, I think that's probably the only way we'll end up getting that if Nintendo does GameCube Nintendo Online. But that netcode's gonna have to be really good, because if N64 doesn't work very well, GameCube sure isn't going to work very well. To be fair though, GameCube did attempt the broadband thing, so I guess that's not entirely true. And look, you know, Phantasy Star Online was a thing, so I don't know. In fact, imagine, like, if they were already selling, like, the N64 controller and, like, the classic stuff, imagine if they tried to sell the GameCube keyboard controller, even though you could only use it for Phantasy Star Online. So it would be a waste, but it would still be funny to have. But if they did do that, then they could release Nintendo Puzzle Collection, and everyone could play it, and then you could play it with more than 2 people. Imagine matching things that quickly. That's aggravating. This is definitely a series that I miss, even though I caught onto it late. Gotta be quicker lining up those verticals. Yeah! The problem I have with my verticals is I end up getting 2 on one line and 1 on the other. That's my biggest issue. I get a little bit better at horizontals though. Ah. Nanda kore. Okay. But no, this game is very addicting for me. Just why I want more of it. This isn't even the hardest difficulty. It's like a quote-unquote unlockable difficulty. You press a combination of buttons on hard mode and it becomes super hard. Not even a joke. Oh, you've seen it? Yeah, it's wild. Also did it on my own TA copy. TA copy. Pretty sure. Oh, you play? Oh, wait, really? You see me? You know what? I may have done it. I may have done it. I haven't done that in a while though, because I'm bad at regular. You know. Oh, Tetris Attack? Yeah, I mean, it's the same game. Tetris Attack is the North American version of this game. Oh, I should have moved the stars horizontal. Messed up. Ah. Oh, hello, Shedimus. Welcome, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Hello, Fonz of the big fluffy ears. I am indeed the tallest eared foxel. Sort of. Oh. Ah. 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 Good old tool assist. Ah, I took my purple. Me diamond. Diamond. Wow. Okay. I messed that up. I'm screwed now. Wow, this is too fast. Yep. What do you... It got way too fast. Once you hit 3 minutes, it's really fast. You just have to keep matching if you don't want it to go too fast. I can put up a decent fight for the most part. Didn't see the ping. Oh, hello. Oh, when I see you, I'll be done with today. It's okay. It was going to be a short stream. I'm ending after I beat Cordelia. Right now. Final boss. It is okay. Would have much rather be here watching you double Tetris than argue with Aussie about American politics. Don't argue with people about American politics then. There is no winning side when it comes to American politics. You know this. There is nothing civil about American politics. Sadly. Had all that time to actually get that situated, and I beans it. Ah. When you're here for the next hour, when it wasn't intended, knowing fully well that I need to sleep for work. Left that match on the table for too long. Yeah. Yep. Would have saved you. I don't doubt it. Ah. Yep. Ah. Will this be the one? Let's find out. See, this messes with my mind too much when that happens. When I have basically the equivalent of an S or or a Z piece in Tetris. It messes me up. Well, that's a shame. Oh, that's not good. I messed up. It's literally gonna be 6 o'clock before I beat Cordelia. Ah. I'm not sure what to do. Yep. If it does actually end up hitting 6 o'clock before I end this though, then I'm just gonna have to end it there. Even too many rows of 1-2 blocks. I hate 1-2 blocks. Detroit sucks sometimes. Yeah. That's why I like to aim more for horizontals. Because you can make too many towers and it can mess you up as well. Just like in Puyo Puyo. Ow. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Aw, that's a shame. Got a leaf in your head? I do. I guess I'll have to end it here then. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Michikute arigato, kichikute arigato. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. It's great to be back. I hope to improve upon everything that I do. I hope to see you guys next time as well. I'll probably end up streaming tonight as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to join my Discord in the description. Donate to me if you'd like to. That's up to you. On my Ko-fi, everything's in the description. But at any rate, I'm kitsunevtuber, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. Matane.